Hi, everybody. I'm back on VCTV, the Venture Capital TV from LATOKEN. Today is a very special episode of VCTV where I'm going to be discussing with Iman from AIBC, who is the CEO and the founder of the Malta Blockchain and AI Summit. If everybody remembers, back in the good old days, we used to have a blockchain AI Summit and in Malta. That's how I remember Iman from. Hi, Iman. How are you? Long time. How are things with you?
Thank you, Sonia. Doing great. Thanks for having me on this broadcast.
Okay, great, Iman. Good to speak with you after a long time. How has been? Because I remember from my memory, the last time I had spoken with you, you moved from Malta to Philippines, I guess, to start. I think it was year 2019 or 2020. You're planning a big Asia AI and blockchain summit in Asia. Right? Am I right?
That's right. So 2019, I moved out of Malta to expand the conference business. And I relocated to Manila in the Philippines to launch a blockchain show there, but also a gaming show, an online gambling show conference. And the pandemic hit. I had to go back to Malta to make sure that the main office stays afloat in turbulent times.
Yeah.
And within a matter of months, we realized that the Philippines was going to remain in distress even after the pandemic because of slow vaccine rollout and other factors. So we realized that Dubai was doing a really good job with vaccination, with reaching herd immunity, but more importantly, Dubai is doing a great job when it comes to adopting blockchain technology at government level. So we felt we could set our home base in Dubai, and that's what we're doing now. We have our very first show outside the comfort zone of Malta, and that's happening in Dubai on the 25th and the 26th of May.
Okay, now you've totally moved out of Philippines and your new home is in Dubai. Iman, how do you do that? Malta, Philippines, Dubai. How difficult? How? I don't think it's going to be, having a very smooth ride with the pandemic and with a lot of regulations in different countries. So how difficult it has been for you, or how do you describe your journey since to 2020 that you moved to Asia?
Oh, certainly challenging, but very, very exciting, I must say. And for me personally, relocating with family, wife and kids, it's not easy. And I had to do it twice, right? From Malta, relocate to Philippines. Once we settled in, COVID struck. We had to go back to Malta. Now we have to relocate back to Dubai. So very exciting, but very challenging at the same time. From a business perspective, I think COVID helped us to think retrospectively, right? To think a bit on how our business model works.
Right.
And we soon realized that from purely events, it was time for us to diversify. So we became also a media company. We have a news channel in 10 multiple languages.
Right.
Broadcasting news on gaming, then broadcasting news on emerging tech. And that's doing really, really well. It has helped me keep the company afloat.
Yeah.
Not only by not firing people because of lack of events and lack of business, but we actually doubled our workforce. So from 30 people last year before COVID, now we're over 60 people working around the clock.
Oh, wow. That's a great example of a pivot from our founder in difficult time. We discuss about this. Viewers, those of you watching, obviously I have asked this question many times on my show. What is one of the successful pivots that a startup has made? And there you go. You've got the live example of Iman, who relocated from Malta to host his biggest event in Asia in 2020. COVID hit. Everything shut down, closed down. Then he moved back to Malta. Then from Malta, he moved to Dubai. So there you go, pivot. And also, not only events, he's also doing news and many other things, media as well. Many other things Iman just said. And I've been a part of your journey as well in some way, because I was interviewed by one of your team members. So Iman, let's just focus on this AIBC. Why Dubai? Maybe you can explain a bit more, because Singapore is equally a place you could have chosen, but you chose Dubai. Why Dubai, and what's so different about this event?
Yeah, great question. Why Dubai? Many reasons, right? Dubai has come out as a leader in adopting blockchain technology at government level. The government is extremely supportive of this industry. So that number one. Two, geopolitically, the location where Dubai is as a country geographically is really relevant for us because it's in between major hubs. It's a transit between Europe and Asia. So it's also an opportunity for East to meet West. And what better city with such great flight connections, such great infrastructure with hotels and roads to host a show like ours than Dubai.
Right. Got it. That's a good way to put it. So what's so special about this event? I mean, how is it different from a Malta AI and Blockchain Summit that you've hosted in the past?
So in the past, we had the Malta AI and Blockchain Summit. That summit has been rebranded AIBC Europe.
Right.
And what's different from that show to this one is the location, clearly. Yeah. So when we hold the show in Malta, we're also talking about what the government is doing for blockchain in Malta. So we invite the Prime Minister, we invite the Minister of Economy to talk about the incentives or the regulatory frameworks that the government is launching. That's Malta. In Dubai, we're doing the same thing, but focusing on the GCC area.
Right.
So we're attracting delegates who are interested in setting up company in Dubai. We're attracting delegates who are investors in the region who want to invest in companies in that area. So we're attracting a lot of, Saudi investors from Qatar, Bahrain, then from the country like Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah. So a very interesting mix of delegates coming over to the show.
Okay, great. So how helpful, supportive has the Dubai government, because of everywhere people were trying to have another lockdown because they don't want, the spread of the virus. But in terms of Dubai, how supportive has the government been when you're organizing a large scale event where you are also expecting people from all over the world to gather in Dubai? So obviously you need a government permit, right?
Of course, the government has been extremely supportive of our event. They not only sanctioned it, in a place like Dubai, there's a number of policies, number of rules one has to follow. So all the speakers need to be vetted, and you need to get a permit. You cannot just organize a conference. So the government not only sanctioned the event, but they saw how serious we are, and they even sponsored the event. So it was a clear message from the government of Dubai telling us, guys, I love what you're doing, and let's find a way how this show keeps coming back to Dubai every year. And so the monetary sponsorship that they gave us was really meaningful to us beyond the monetary value, right?
Wow.
We're extremely happy to be working alongside this government.
Oh, that's that. See, there you go. If you have a supportive government, I mean, things become like so easy for you to execute. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, how many people are you expecting from how many countries this year?
Well, from all over the world, right? There's some restrictions which do not seem to be bothering many delegates. We're expecting 4,000 people.
Right.
Good quality delegates. And they're coming from all over the place, even the US, even from India, where there are a lot of restrictions at the moment, like quarantine. But people are still coming in. I think that goes to show one thing clearly.
Yeah.
People miss those events. People miss
Of course.
meeting face to face and doing business the old school way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You've been doing this online event, as you know, VCTV, since 2020, but I love to meet people and people in person again. Okay. So how many days is the event spread for? Like how many days? What's the duration of this event?
I like to say it's 4 days,
4 days.
but it's in reality 2 days. So 2 full days of conference,
Hmm.
but we have a big networking event a day before, so people can get a head start on exchanging business cards. Then we have also a nice brunch the day after the conference. So in total, 4 days of activity. On top of our show, I love it. Some people tell me, how come you not bother them? And when there's other event organizers throwing small events around yours, right? Aren't they going to take away the wind from your sails? That's what I get asked very often, right?
Ah,
And I
okay.
tell them, not at all. I see very much a lot of strength in unity. And the fact there's another 7, 8, 9 events taking place in that same week with our show, I think cements us as an authority in conferences in this space. So that gives me a lot of satisfaction.
That's good. That's good. Obviously, collaboration. So, what about the entrepreneurs and the founders who are going to be attending this event of yours? What are they going to take back home?
Look, we're going to get a lot of investors, a lot of startups. We have this startup pitch that's close to my heart because what we do is we entice startups to apply, and the best 50 projects, they get to have a red carpet treatment for us. A
Wow.
free booth, free PR, free connections, free tickets to the show, free everything. Then from those 50 startups who exhibit for free, 10 of them actually get to pitch on stage in front of a house full of investors
Right.
and in front of a number of judges. From those startups, there will be a few who will secure serious funding. We're talking millions of dollars in funding.
That's fantastic, guys. Don't miss this opportunity. And again, my next question, is it a mix of physical and online, or is it going to be totally physical?
It's going to be physical, but we're going to allow the conference to be streamed online as well
Oh,
to be COVID sensitive, right? We know some people haven't taken the vaccine yet, so they feel like it's a risk they don't want to take at the moment. And we honor that, we respect that a lot.
great. So it's going to be a hybrid model in the sense those who are going to be missing out, not going to Dubai, they can sit at the comfort of the home and watch live streaming.
Yeah,
Thank you
they're
so
gonna
much.
miss. They're gonna miss on the networking. They're gonna miss on
Yeah,
wining and dining with potential clients or partners. But if they're after, thought leadership presentations and panels, then we have that for it.
there you go. Thank you, Iman. Are you still accepting new applications for somebody who's like going to exhibit or a sponsor or take part in your event?
The floor plan is sold out for quite some time.
Right.
However, we can accept sponsorships or or networking. So if someone wants to organize a dinner and let us curate a guest list for them. Let's say
Right.
you want to organize a dinner for investors or you want to organize a dinner for affiliates,
Right.
then we can do that for you.
There you go, guys. We're watching. So there you go. Iman just gave it away. So Iman, before we wrap up the show, because it was a quick sort of interview of your event, any closing remarks and closing thoughts about the show and about yourself?
Yeah, well, a couple of things. There's great exhibitors, unlike the 2018 show which we had in Malta, where there was this ICO craze and you had a lot of ICOs who went up in smokes. This time we have a lot of very well respected projects
Right.
that are gracing the floor plan. I'll give you one example. Tezos Foundation.
Yeah. Iman, we have lost you. Are you there?
Hello? Yeah, can you see me?
Sorry, yeah. Now, yes.
So, for example, Tezos Foundation, they're one of the top 20, 30 cryptocurrencies in the world.
Yeah.
Back in 2018, I believe, or 17, the SEC froze their assets. They did an ICO, they raised something like 400 million,
Wow.
but they had some American folks who were also part of this ICO. So the SEC froze everything. They did all the due diligence. They investigated Tezos Foundation. Recently, they concluded that there's nothing wrong with what they did. So they were let go. And those $400 million worth of Bitcoin that they raised in 2017, which has been frozen and kept under wraps, all of a sudden now has been released. But because of the bull run from the market, they're now sitting on something like $6-7 billion.
Oh my God, dude.
So these are the kind of projects that we have on
Wow.
the floor plan, right? Very, very exciting stories. On top of the exhibitors, then obviously the speakers are worth mentioning. We have spent a lot of time curating our lineup, and you can expect speakers like Brock Pierce, Roger Ver. Someone I really hold up in high esteem is Professor Scott Stornetta. And I'll tell you why I love this guy, right? He's extremely humble, but if you look at the white paper of Satoshi Nakamoto, so his Bitcoin white paper, at the end of the paper, there's all the references that Satoshi Nakamoto referred to write his white paper. And I believe there's about 7 sources.
Right.
Of those 7 sources, half of them, 3 or 4, they're Professor Scott Stornetta. So one can say that the person who inspired Satoshi Nakamoto the most to write the Bitcoin white paper is this guy who's coming to speak at the show.
Wow.
One of the greatest speakers I ever met in my life.
And he's going to be in person attending the event.
He's flying from New York, and I can't wait to see him.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, man. Anything else you would like to add?
No, those who would like to come to the show, we're still selling tickets, and I look forward to welcome you with arms wide open.
Thank you so much, Iman. And it was great to have you on VCTV today. I hope to see you someday in person. Until then, take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye.